What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, guys, I am going to be talking about Manchester United's last game that we went and played, West Ham, at home, guys, at the Theatre of Dreams. So let's just get straight into today's video, guys. So I made two changes from the last game against Crystal Palace. Talk about the starting 11. So we started with De Gea, Fosu-Mensah, Lindelof, Maguire, Williams, Pogba, Matic, Greenwood, Fernandes, Rashford and Martial. Getting into the overall reaction now. United go third with draw against West Ham. Greenwood earns United key point. A draw it is, not good enough. Poor, not the greatest performance. It's all on Leicester City now. 13 games unbeaten in the Premier League. Just before I start today's video, guys, I just want to say that this video will not be fully edited because United have pretty much got a game in the next 3 days, so I won't have enough time to edit this video, so apologies for that, guys. Anyway, guys, let's just get straight into today's video. What did I make of the performance? It was a very poor performance from the boys. I mean, I think, you know what, coming into this game against West Ham, we knew that at the end of the day, West Ham were going to come to Old Trafford, give us a good game, and they did at the end of the day. You know what, I'm first going to say, first 25 minutes for United was absolutely fun. It was a dream start, and you're thinking, let's get the early goal to settle down the nerves, let's get a goal and put them, you know, get in front, and then get another goal later on into the game and finish them off. So we couldn't find that first goal. You know, we had so many good chances on goal, likes of Martial, Rashford, and you know what, we just didn't take our chances. And if we would have took our chances and scored another chance, we probably would have beaten West Ham. And I mean, people are going in on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and stuff like that. Yes, he didn't get the right tactics. Yes, it was negative tactics. Yes, there was no ideas. There was no rhythm. You know, the players looked a bit lost in times, and, you know, overall, it was a poor performance overall. And I will have to hold my hands up that, you know, this was a very poor performance. I think the opening 25 minutes, we looked convincing. I think in the first 25 minutes, I think every United fan's just thinking, keep doing that, you know, let's maintain that throughout the rest of the game. Well, the reason why we couldn't maintain that throughout the rest of the game was because the players are getting knackered. And if you look at our schedule, you know, we had Chelsea in the FA Cup on the Sunday, then we've had to go and play on a Wednesday night. So we've not been having a lot of rest and, you know, and not enough time to prepare for these games. So at the end of the day, you know, if you look at this performance on a whole, it was poor. It was poor overall. It wasn't good enough from the players. It was not good enough. And I mean, you can sort of take it down to sort of tiredness and fatigue, but at the end of the day, it wasn't a great performance. You have got to be looking at the teams like West Ham. Again, this is a lesser team that we should be beating. You know what? I'm going to pick up on this. United have not beaten West Ham this season, and that's embarrassing. We let Manuel Pellegrini beat us earlier on in the season. He's now been sacked by West Ham, by the way. But now, with David Moyes coming in, he's come to Old Trafford, and they've got that vital point. Yes, we might have had that vital point as well, but you've got to look at it. Teams like West Ham, like a lesser team, you've got to beat them at the end of the day. We would have been 2 points in front of Chelsea. Then we wouldn't need to do a lot against Leicester. So at the end of the day, Leicester will be going all guns blazing now in the next game because they've got no other option except to beat us. They have to beat us. If Leicester don't beat us, they're not in Champions League football. Yes, we're in it right now, but it's all about now. We've got to go to Leicester now, and we've got to either draw or win that game. Leicester have to beat us. That's how it simply goes. If Leicester don't beat us, it's all over for Leicester. And it's in our hands at the end of the day. It's in our hands now, because we're on the same points as Chelsea now. And thanks for Liverpool battering them last night as well. But this performance, you've got to look at it. It wasn't good enough from the players. And I mean, this is the thing. This season has been so crap. We've had to lay it down to go to other games and other teams to do us a favour. And that's what happened last night. We had to get Liverpool to do us a favour. Now that we're third, we've jumped 2 places in the space of that game last night, even though we took a point. But that's because Leicester have dropped points and Chelsea have dropped points. So at the end of the day, if you look at this game, overall, it was poor. We weren't good enough. And these are games that you've got to win against West Ham. And I mean, I've got to talk about the first half. The first half, I think the first 25 minutes, it was brilliant. We played with energy, intent, high intensity, high tempo. We pressed them, we got them on the back foot, we created chances, simply couldn't take them. We were not clinical in front of goal. There it is. So then I think West Ham sort of got themselves back into the game. I think West Ham, I think, looked better than us in the second half. I think, they could have beaten us in that second half. But you know what? I don't think we got lucky of getting the point or anything like that. I don't think we got lucky by scoring the goal. I think it was generally because we looked really good in that second half as well. And then we sort of just flopped a bit. And what it was as well, what really let us down, it's the midfield, unfortunately. You've got Matic and Pogba, and you've got Bruno in the midfield. Matic was very poor last night. He was not that great. He kept on taking too many touches. He kept on taking 4 or 5 touches. We were taking way too many touches. All you have to do is control it, pass it, move. It's control, pass, move. Let's go. We need to show the urgency in our play. We did not have the urgency in that game last night. I mean, we had the urgency in the opening 25 minutes, but we couldn't maintain that because our players got tired. So it's not good enough. It's not good enough. It was a poor performance. It was negative tactics. We had no ideas up front. There was no rhythm. The players looked lost and they didn't know what to do. And overall, it was a poor performance. It was not good enough. And teams like West Ham, you've got to be beating them. I mean, some United fans like me are going to be a bit frustrated because these are teams that you've got to beat. This is a team, West Ham, that were in a relegation fight a couple of weeks ago. But now that they've got themselves out of that mess and they're going to be a Premier League team for next season. But at the end of the day, it wasn't good enough, and we're going to have to go down to Leicester now, and we're going to have to. And I know a point's enough, but I think we need to win this game against Leicester because at the end of the day, it's all down on Leicester now. It's going down to the last game of the season. United don't do that, so now we've got to go down to Leicester. But the pressure's on Leicester, actually, not us. The pressure's on Leicester. Leicester cannot lose. Leicester cannot draw, and they cannot lose. They have to beat us. So they're going to be on it. So at the end of the day, they've got a few key players, but I'll get into that later into this video as well. But you've got to look at this performance. It wasn't good enough from our players. I mean, first opening 25 minutes, I thought we were fantastic, and then I don't think we capitulated. I think we defended when we had to, bit woeful in times, but then we gave away that stupid handball as well. It was not good enough, and then they went 1-0 in front, and I think that was frustrating because they didn't have to work for that. They were creating chances, but they couldn't put their chances away. So if you take away that penalty, if that hadn't happened, and that was 2 individual errors there, Fossey meant to have given it away, that free kick, and Pogba with a handball, easily avoidable, and we couldn't do that because its individual errors are kicking in once again. And then I think in the second half we looked really good for the first opening 10-15 minutes, and then the rest of the game was flat because we didn't have the urgency in the team. And you think in the drinks break something would happen, but no, we didn't look good, and now it's going all down to the last game of the season against Leicester now. So we've got to go to Leicester now, and we've got to give it absolutely everything that we've got in the tank. At least we've got 2 good days to train for this game, but they've had 2 more days to prepare for us. So it's all about the right preparation now for Leicester, and we've got to rest and recovery. We've got to do that well, and we've got to really prepare well for this game and go down to Leicester and get the result that we want. And let's give the fans what we want. Get a win to finish this season off. We may be having a bit of a dip here and there. Obviously we drew to Southampton, we went back on the up again, and then we've gone back to drawing again. So let's get back to that winning mentality. So there you go, we draw, we win, we draw, let's win. You can see that there's a pattern there. Win on Sunday, please. It was Mason Greenwood's 50th appearance for the club last night. He has now scored 17 goals, for the most goals scored by a teenager thanks to Mason, he got us a vital point for third place, and we moved closer to Champions League football. What have I made of him overall this season? He's been a fantastic player this season. You know what, Mason Greenwood, fantastic striker. I mean, since, you know, coming after lockdown, he's had a new position. He's come out, he's helped us really well in the attack at the end of the day. He's linked up really well with the likes of Rashford and Martial, and you could see that in that game because he linked up really well with Martial. And I think if it wasn't for Mason Greenwood to get us that vital point, I know a point is not enough, but I mean, at the end of the day, we got a point. Obviously, I think a point was, you know, fair, but at the same time, it was 2 points dropped. But I think at the end of the day, Mason Greenwood's 50th appearance for the club, he also got a goal, so I think he'll be buzzing with that at the end of the day. So I think he was the man that sort of got us back into the game, and you would have thought in that after him scoring, let's push on and let's go and get another, but we couldn't find that second goal because if you saw Ollie in that drinks break in the second one, he was like that. That means settle down, calm down. What are you doing? Go and get the urgency back in the play. You need to go and score another goal. So it's just, when you do that, it's like, calm down, but we need to chase down another goal. So you need to play quick, incisive football, play aggressive, you know, be ruthless. And we didn't, and we weren't, because we had tired legs out there at the end of the day. But thanks to Mason, you know, I think a day not to remember for him. 50th appearance, gets a goal, 17 goals scored, and the fourth United teenager to hit 17 goals in a season after George Best, Brian Kidd and Wayne Rooney. So he's up there with some great legends of the game that has played for Manchester United. So with him putting his name next to those players, I think he'll be an absolute, you know, he's going to turn into a great player in the next 10 years. You know, he's going to be absolutely brilliant. And with him scoring 17 goals so far this season, it's amazing. And I think he's had a great season overall. He's been fantastic. He's scored some great goals since coming out of lockdown, and also to get us out of a bit of a mess as well. To get us a goal that we really needed, but a goal that we needed to get back level. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. We have to move on. And thanks to Mason, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have drawn that game, and we probably would have lost it. And I think we probably deserved to lose the game, but a point is a point at the end of the day. You've got to take it. Their goal ultimately came from a penalty, and that's maybe, you could say, 4 points Pogba's cost us in the last 2 home games against Southampton and West Ham. What did I make of that? Was it just one of those things, a natural reaction that you never thought about? He's obviously now getting bollocked on Twitter right now, but what did I make of that? You know what? You could take it 2 ways. You could say it was also a natural reaction. Ollie, you know, came out and said, yes, it's a natural reaction. You know, the ball's going into his face. Of course he's going to do that. But you could take it 2 ways. It could be a natural reaction because obviously the ball's going the ball's going into his face, and he was trying to, you know, didn't want the ball to go to his face. So it's a natural reaction. I've put my arms up, and I've given away a penalty. But you've got to also look at the side that, you know, Pogba knows that he's in the box and he knows he can't put his arms up. He knows that once it goes to VAR, he's like, shit, this is going to be a penalty. And it was a penalty. And, you know, it's 50-50 at the end of the day. But I think at the end of the day, you've got to look at it. It could be a natural reaction, but at the end of the day, Pogba knows that he can't do that. He's cost us in 2 games now, 2 home games now. And 4 points down the drain that we could have easily had. We would have built a nice easy gap with Chelsea, but that goes to show individual errors, kicking in once again, not learning from them. But Pogba's got to learn from that. But he's apologised to the team, but, you know, apologising to the team's not good enough, because you're not only just letting the team down, but you've also let yourself down at the end of the day. So it could be a natural reaction. But at the same time, it's stupid to give away, because once it goes to VAR, you're in the shit at the end of the day. And you know it's going to be a penalty. If that was last season, that probably wouldn't have got given. So, but with VAR in play, you're not going to get away with it. So There you go. Who is my man of the match? My man of the match has to be probably Mason Greenwood. Got us out of a bit of a mess. We were 1-0 down. We needed a goal. Mason's my man of the match. I thought he was brilliant in that game. How do we beat Leicester City in the final game of the season? Leicester are, fantastic team. They might have some great players in there. Leicester are a team this season that, you know what, they did so well. They picked up some great, fantastic points against some good teams. A few teams they could have done better in, but at the end of the day, Leicester have not been great. I think if it's one team that don't deserve Champions League football, it's Leicester. And I mean, we probably may not deserve it, but I think at the end of the day, you've got to look at Leicester's form recently. I think this game could not come at a better time for us. I mean, we've got to go away from home, and we've got to practically go down to Leicester and win at the end of the day. Either win or draw, but I think it's better if we win at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, Leicester have got no choice to go and beat us. They have to beat us. If they don't beat us, they know it's all over. So I think Leicester will be looking to get the earlier goal, and then they'll want a second. But this is going to be the test now. Leicester, they've had 2 more days to prepare for us. They've probably had about 4 good days to prepare for this in training wise. But at the end of the day, you've got to look at their form. I mean, this is funny because they all go on about the Bundesliga, that the away team wins more. But I think in the Premier League, it's form for me. And I think, Leicester, it could go either way, but Leicester know that they've got no other choice to go and beat us. The last time they beat us was in 2014. But I think with us playing, so well, we're unbeaten in 13 games. We're just going to have to keep it tight at the back and not make a mistake. We cannot make a slip up. But if we do make something do a stupid individual error, like what Pogba's done, that's going to cost us. It's really going to cost us. So we can't afford individual mistakes. We can't afford to give away stupid mistakes. We're going to have to be on it mentally from the start to finish. We can't be sloppy on the ball. We're going to have to play with urgency, with fluidity. The transition from defence to attack needs to be quick. We need to play with lots of energy. We need to play with intent, high intensity, high tempo. We're going to have to be on it. And this is a game that they have to win. They have to win this without some good players. The likes of, Pereira's not going to be in this game for them. Chilwell's not in this game for them. Soyuncu's not going to be in this game for them. And Maddison's not going to be in this game for them. So it's going to be a tough game for them. And I think with those players, they miss out. And we've got Luke Shaw injured. So at the end of the day, it goes to show that when you have those good players, it goes to show that you might get something out of the game. And we beat these earlier on in the season, so we know that we're capable of beating Leicester at the end of the day. I think this is just a mentality thing. Please don't fuck this up. Please don't bottle it. We may have bottled it against West Ham, but it's a mentality thing. We've got to prepare well, mentally, physically. We need to be. We need to pretty much hit them on the break pretty quick. We need to stretch them out. The movement needs to be quick. We need to be ruthless. We need to take risks as well, and that's what I picked out from their last game against Tottenham. You have to hit them on the break quick, and you've got to get the ball out wide, and you've got to make the runs in behind, and make some good runs from in and you've got to get down the right channels, and it's all about create the chances, take your chances, and be clinical in front of goal. And you know what? We have to really beat Leicester. I think at the end of the day, Leicester, they've got no other choice to go and beat us in this game. They have to beat us. They'll be going all guns blazing. So we need to really be on it from minute 1 to minute 90. Do not make a slip up. Do not let them get the first goal. We get the first goal, they've got a big mountain to climb. And they know that after when that first goal goes in, they'll be devastated because they know they have to win the game. If they don't win that game, it's Europa League for them next season. So we've got to be on it from minute 1 to minute 90. It's a mentality thing from start to finish. The mindset needs to be there. We need to prepare well for this game and do not fuck it up against Leicester. I think they're for the taking at the end of the day. I really do think they're there for the taking. We're just going to be on it. from minute 1 to minute 90. We cannot let individual errors come back in and haunt us. We've got to be on it. We can't make a slip up. Don't fuck this up. Don't bottle it. Let's get a win there, or a draw. They've got to go all guns blazing, and they have to win this game. And if it's a draw for us, but that's Leicester out of Champions League. So we know that we can get Champions League. Just go to Leicester, get the win. You know what? I think United have been better away from home. And I think we can probably go to Leicester and get the win, because we're capable. We know we can beat Leicester at the end of the day. It's just a mentality thing. We've got to be quick. We've got to be bright. We've got to be sharp on the ball. And we've got to be quick on the counter-attack. Quick, incisive football from start to finish. Get some low and hard crosses into the box. And just be clinical in front of goal and take the chances. Getting to the goals now. First goal, Bruno passed it to Pogba. Pogba passed it to Mason. Mason passed it to Martial. Martial passed it to Greenwood. Greenwood passed it back to Martial. Martial passed it back to Greenwood. And Greenwood turns and scores a great goal to get United back level for 1-1. Getting into the stats now. Possession-wise for Manchester United, it was 57.2%. For West Ham, it was 42.8%. Goals for Man United, it was 1. And for West Ham, it was 1. Total shots for Man United, it was 11. And for West Ham, it was 12. Shots on target for United, it was 4. And for West Ham, it was 3. Shot accuracy for Man United, it was 36.4%. And for West Ham, it was 25%. Shots inside the box for Man United, it was 6. And for West Ham, it was 7. Shots outside the box for Man United, it was 5. And for West Ham, it was 5. Total passes for Man United, it was 609 passes. And for West Ham, it was 441 passes. Pass accuracy for Man United, it was 86.5%. And for West Ham, it was 79.1%. Getting into the substitutions now. Fosu-Mensah went off for Wan-Bissaka. Talk about Fosu-Mensah's performance. Show why he went over 3 years without playing for United. Ineffectual in the final third and conceded the free kick that led to the penalty. Substituted at half time. Rashford went for a goal. I'll talk about Rashford's performance. Tested Fabianski with a speculative effort in the first half, but did little else of note in the final third. Next up, we've got Leicester. Leicester are 5th in the table. Like I said, this is the mentality thing now. We need the mindset, we need the mentality. We just got to prepare well, mentally and physically as well. We know we can beat Leicester at the end of the day. We've got to go there, just get a win. If we can get the earlier goal, they're in the shit. They've got a big mountain to climb. They have to get back into the game. We need to be quick, bright, sharp. The movement needs to be quick. We need to get them on the counter-attack quick. Get some good runs in behind. We've got to be quick, incisive on the ball. Get forward, be aggressive. Get them on the back foot. We've got to be ruthless as well. Take the risks. Get some low and hard crosses into the box. And we know we can beat Leicester. We know we can beat Leicester at the end of the day. Leicester have scored 67 goals so far this season. They've conceded 39 goals so far this season. They're scoring 1.8 goals per game, so nearly 2 goals per game. But they've not been able to score 2 goals recently as well. They've been conceding 1.1 goals per game. Leicester have the 14th worst defence in the league. They have the 6th best defence in the league as well. So far in 2020, Leicester have won 5 games, and that was against Newcastle, West Ham, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace and Sheffield United. The only decent team they've beaten this year is Sheffield. Leicester have won 18, drawn 8 and lost 11. They lost to Man United 1-0, and that was their first loss as well. Liverpool 2-1, Man City 3-1, Liverpool 4-0, Southampton 2-1, Burnley 2-1, Man City 1-0, Norwich 1-0, Everton 2-1, Bournemouth 4-1, and Tottenham 3-0. And they're low on confidence as well. They're fucking low on confidence as well. And that's the advantage for us. At least we've got a little bit of confidence. They're fucking rock bottom on confidence right now, at the end of the day. 3 of those fixtures are at home. The last time Man United won against Leicester City was on Saturday the 14th of September 2019, and it ended 1-0 to the Reds. The last time Man United lost to Leicester City was on Sunday the 21st of September 2014, and it ended 5-3 to Leicester. They've not beaten us in 6 years, and I can't see us losing this. I can't see us losing this game at the end of the day. The players to look out for is Justin, Morgan, Evans, Bennett, Gray, Tillemans, Albrighton, Barnes, Mendy, Ndidi, Prayet, Vardy, Iheanacho and Perez. Hope you guys are enjoying the video. Be sure to leave a like. Subscribe to my channel if you are new. See you guys in the video in the next couple of days. And peace.